Hey, good morning, everyone. How's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you another episode of Coffee with Coach. It's Monday. Great start to the day. Had a great 6 a.m. class this morning. Good attendance, so always makes me happy. So hope you're up making some moves already. It's already a little bit later in the morning. It's around 10 o'clock. So got to get it in before I head up to the academy here and get some work in. So anyways, one of the discussions I had over the weekend was blending in. All right, the fear of blending in. That's a huge fear of mine, of blending in, just being unseen and not being noticed because of lack of effort and lack of work ethic. So where that came from is talking to an individual over the weekend, and they were, trying to get this other position, different job, and there's some other people in the hunt for the job as well. And so this individual was telling me, like, these other people are coming for the same position as me. And I said, well, you got to separate yourself. You just can't blend in and just be like an average Joe, average person, not really doing much, and just kind of doing what everyone else is doing, like doing the bare minimum work, right? So you got to go above and beyond and do something more than everyone else. Don't have to get paid for it. Don't got to ask someone to, no one should ask you to do anything, to do certain things. You see something that needs to be done, you just do it, or just put in that extra effort so that you can be recognized, be noticed for those efforts, and then eventually separating yourself so that you can get that position or thing that you want. I know for me, like when I left General Motors and I wanted to open up my own academy, there wasn't as many jiu-jitsu schools as there is now. You're talking 2008, so we're in 2020. There's way more schools now, but still, there was still a good amount of schools back then opening up. But my goal was to make an academy in Arlington, one that no one's really seen before, been a part of, or witnessed before. I wanted to create something that was going to be noticed and not just blend in. Okay, so over the years, that takes time, and that has definitely happened. I know before when we'd go to tournaments, we'd walk in as a team. People didn't know who we are, didn't recognize the logo, the shirt, stuff like that. And I would hear kind of whispers here and there, like, who are these guys? And then over time, it wasn't like, who are these guys? It'd be like, oh, there's those guys. Like they knew the patch, they knew the logo, they knew that when we came into the building that we were coming in to put in some work, and that if you came up against one of our teammates, one of our students, you were going to be in for a fight, and that's what you want, right? Like you want to be noticed and recognized for the work. And again, that takes time to put in, but it can be done. And just, you got to make sure every single day that's what we're doing. So over the years, that was my goal, was like, I just didn't want to just leave General Motors and then just do like an average thing, like just have an average academy. I wanted to be known, be recognized. And over time, we've done that, So the other thing is, me personally, I know when I got my black belt, I just didn't want to be like, just another black belt. Like I wanted to be recognized as a black belt for my competitions, to go out and compete and establish myself as one of the top guys in the world at my belt rank and age and everything like that. Didn't happen overnight, but over the years, it did happen. As a result, number one ranked black belt in Master 3, three Master World titles in the gi and 4 in the no gi, and the list goes on. So, but how'd I get that? Like separating myself, like not blending in, doing things extra that other people didn't want to do. Got onto so many planes and flew to so many different places all over the world, spent so much money and effort. The training that it took to get to prepare for those tournaments, and then like preparing is one thing, and then have to go and try and win those things is a whole nother, and accomplish those goals is a totally different thing. But I've done that. I separated myself from the pack so that I could be recognized as, one of the best in my class at what I do, going down in history as one of the guys that have done the most in my, respective belt rank and age and stuff like that. Same thing when there was, at one point when the TX MMA was doing like Coaches of the Year, Academy of the Year, Competitor of the Year. There was like Iron Man of the Year, something like that. But, I got like 4 of those, coaches of the year award kind of things, a couple of the competitor of the year awards and Ironman of the year awards, stuff like that. Again, putting in mad work, crazy work, not just blending in, not just going to class, just being nothing's wrong with that. So if you're just going to class and you're just training and you're there for the health and fitness part and that's your goal, then that's great, because I'm not shaming that. What I'm saying is I didn't want to do just that. My goal was a bigger goal, and I wanted to separate myself from everything else, and I wanted to make a name for myself. And you can't do that by just blending in. I wanted to be the hardest worker in the room, so I was the hardest worker in the room. And I wanted to go out and show that I didn't just get my black belt just because I put the time in and I was a good academy grappler. I wanted to show that I could go out on the big stages and go out and compete against the best in the world, like all over the world, not just, places where it's comfortable. So anyways, takes time and effort to do all that. So if that's you're in a position where it could be at work, it could be wherever you're at. Blending in isn't going to get you anywhere. You have to step forward and be noticed by putting in extra work, putting in extra effort, doing it, going above and beyond, doing things that other people just aren't willing to do themselves, because it's hard. It's going to be harder to do. Again, all this stuff that I did was taxing on my body, but it was worth it. All this, the way I pushed my team, we could easily just have a great, just regular academy. We come in and just do our thing and that's it. But I do push my guys to challenge themselves, to go out and step out and compete and rep the team, whether it's just our team or team lead BJJ or whatever the case may be. Like, let's go out and put in some work, and let's keep this thing going that we've been doing. Again, not just blending in, like separating ourselves from the pack, so on and so forth. And lately we've been having quite a few promotions, and when I have individuals come up before I call their name out and give them their belt, I talk about their work ethic. So certain individuals, when they come in and sign up in my academy, there's some individuals where they just blend in. They just don't come to class that much. When they're there, they don't really, the work ethic really isn't there, and they're there. And then I got those other individuals where some individuals, like, they don't really talk at all. Like, they're just quiet. They seem like kind of introvert. But the work ethic is just ridiculous. Like I see them. They're recognized. They're noticeable because of the training partners that they pick, the way that they drill, the way that they train, the way that just how many times a week they come to class. Like, it's recognized, like, right away. Like, even at white belt, like, someone as a white belt, when they come in, can, like, grab people's attention and grab my attention because of the work ethic. Because why? Well, how are they able to grab my attention like that? Why do I gravitate towards certain individuals and maybe not the others? Is because I gravitate towards those individuals that, okay, how are you coming to class so much? How is that happening? What are you doing to make that happen? And why are you able to do it? And why are these other people over here aren't able to do it? When, like, I gave a belt promotion to someone just recently, and they have a lot on their plate, and some individuals don't have as much on their plate, and they don't come as much, but this person is coming like 2 or 3 times as much. So those kind of things right there are going to be recognized, to where, like, again, you could be white belt, blue belt, not the most athletic person, maybe don't pick it up. Jiu-jitsu, like, there's a jiu-jitsu IQ, like, there's an IQ for everything. Like, you just pick things up. There's individuals that just get it, and then there's individuals that have to work a lot harder. But I see the effort and the work ethic on how they're trying to pick that up, and they are getting it over time. They do grab a hold of that, and I'm able to, like, you know what? I'm gonna go give extra help to that individual because I see them coming to class more. I see them doing like if something comes up, they'll come to a different class to make up for it. So on and so forth. Like, there's a couple individuals that were there today, this morning, 6 a.m. class. They're not routinely a 6 a.m. person. That's not part of the 6 a.m. crew. But because we have that time slot and something's going on and they want to get their 2 classes in, they'll show up to 6 a.m. to make sure they get their 2 classes in, because they might miss it later on in the evening or something like that. So, like, that's that extra effort that I recognize. Like, 6 a.m. when they walk in, I'm like, okay, yeah, well, that's pretty cool, because something must be happening later that you're not able to come to class, but you're going to get up early and come to 6 a.m. class. When I have other people tell me, hey, coach, man, I'm just not a morning person. Not that they can't come. It's just they're not a morning person. In their mind, they're not a morning person, so they're not going to get up and come to class. So they're just blending in. They're actually blending in the covers. They're under the sheets, sleeping, and they're not going to get up till later on because they can. They just don't want to because that's just the way their mind is trained. They train their mind to not be a morning person, stuff like that. So anyways, again, topic came up because of the individuals I was talking to this past weekend was like kind of in fear of the position. They don't have the position yet, I don't think. It's kind of like like two quarterbacks, fighting for the number one spot, right? To be the guy, or whatever the case may be. So, but competition's good. Like I embrace competition, man. Like competition pushes us to do better, and if there is no competition, then what do? We get relaxed, we get lazy, get complacent, and then, there's no growth, you know what I mean? So this individual like is trying to hustle and do some other things. And my advice was like, do more, whatever you see, or go ask what else you can do to help out, and don't ask to get paid for it. Don't have to be like, if it takes an extra hour to stay after, then you do the extra hour. You just do whatever you need to do and go fight for that position. Show them that you want it. But if you just, when it's time to clock out, you clock out and that's it, then you're just doing your regular, just what you're there to do. You're not going to get that position. You know what I mean? So my fear has always been that way. I definitely don't want to blend in. So if that's you're just kind of behind the shadows, behind the scenes, blending in, like step forward, come forward and be shown, like, shine a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. There's people, I know when we have, like we were doing some of the conditioning drills before we were able to grapple and stuff in class, right after the break there, when people came in class, I had a lot of people going to the back row. Like the class wasn't even full yet. It's just people put themselves in the back of the mat, like in the back room by the back wall. And I was making those individuals that would walk in and go straight to the left to the back wall. Instead of coming to the front row, they went all the way to the back, and we got a big mat area. And it's like, what are you doing in the back? Like they just, they train themselves to just go back so they can't be seen. Like come forward. So I would make some of the individuals like come to the front row so that we can see you. You know what I mean? And some people just don't want that, but you need that sometimes. There's a time and a place to just, hang out and stay on the low. And then there's times where you need to step up and show what you can do and show them skills and shine a little bit. So if that's you, get out there, make it happen, shine a little bit today and show your worth. All right, we'll guys catch you on the next one. You guys have a great day. We'll see you.